Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Hi,
Morning.
Dave.
Morning.
What happened that night, mate? Are you thinking, yes, that was bad, as probably last night was as well?
Well, I think it gives you a little bit of an indication and perhaps a thought as regards where we're going with football and hooliganism coming back into the sport. I'm a West Ham fan and I'm a season ticket holder, and we sit next to the away fans. At about 37 minutes into the game, we noticed a lot of riot-dressed policemen leaving the fans in the game and running up the stairs and into the concourse. So what we saw on social media, this was going on while the match was being played. This isn't going on during an interval when they're at the bars.
Okay.
This is something that is planned, I think.
Right.
Because it's happening while the football's taking place. There was hundreds of fans away from the actual game itself causing trouble.
I see. So it's organised, in other words, Dave. I mean, certainly last night in the street on Tottenham High Road, it's not so much organised, it's just sporadic outbreaks of violence. Do you think football could do more, Dave? You heard me say a moment ago, how about a statement from Tottenham and West Ham, or even a joint one this morning? This has got to stop.
I'm a little bit with Simon in that you are barking at the moon a bit. There's
Yeah.
only so much they can do. You're in a society now that's extremely feral. You've just got to watch what's going on in the world and how people are behaving.
Yes,
People are all on social media. Everyone's a journalist and a photographer.
That's right.
You've got a police force, which is now a police service, so it's been run as a business.
That's right.
We're talking about funding. I mean, years ago, a police force was like your sort of civil army. And if you step wrong, you had to be answerable to them and take the consequences. Now,
Yes,
we're talking
yeah.
about funding, financing. I think, unfortunately, we're stuck with this. And no matter what you do, the society isn't going to change. It's over decades, it's ended up where we are today. And it will take decades, if you were hard, to get it back to what we remember.
Okay, Dave, listen, thank you very much indeed. There's Michelle, who teaches young children. We teach the kids using their fists, swearing, general aggression, not the ways to communicate your feelings. This needs to be reinforced when kids are younger so they don't turn out like idiots that ruin it for people who love football. Some of my 6-year-old children who we teach are emotionally more stable than some of those people we saw last night in the streets. Thanks for that, Michelle. A final one from Ian, who's a Tottenham fan. Ian, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I was at the game last night and we left straight after the game and walked up to Northumberland Park tube station. And to my horror, just as we got to the train station, there was about 600 West Ham fans that joined the queue. There was about 20 police. And if you're gonna let these fans integrate at train stations, and they were taunting the Tottenham fans, and Tottenham fans were taunting them, but there was literally 20 police, and it happened about 3 weeks ago with Leeds. What happened to the days of holding fans back and letting other fans get away so you avoid it? They just didn't avoid it. They just literally, we turned a corner and they let West Ham out at the same time, and you're just asking for trouble. There was like 20 police, and it was dangerous. We were getting crushed. I was with my son, and I said to my son, you just need to keep your mouth shut. We were amongst about 600 West Ham fans, standing amongst them, and it was getting quite leery. But they didn't help themselves.
Yes.
From my point of view, Tottenham, I thought they threw us under a bus last night by letting those West Ham fans out at the same time, at the same train station, and with 20 police. What do you expect?
Ian, what a call. Thank you very much indeed. How pathetic is it, Simon, just to finish this with? And we stress here this morning, the majority of the people who were at the game last night, the vast majority are great football people and great football fans. It's this minority. How sad is it that because of football and this tribalism, you can't have two groups of opposing fans on the same train at the same time?
No, it is sad, but it's a fact of society. There are lots of things in this world that are far from a utopian perspective. Do remember when we talk about the amount of policing last night, protocols with COVID are probably diminishing the amount of police that are available to police these games. And you look at it and say, the bottom line is, in individual games like this, there probably is a case. There was a time when fans got held back. And do you remember the uproar that used to happen when fans, we're being held back. Why have we got to be held back? Why have we got to be treated like second-class citizens, right?
Yeah.
But there is a case in exceptional circumstances where there is a known flashpoint where West Ham playing Tottenham in a big game, which most of those games will be, is going to have an element. So maybe there does have to be specific procedures for specific games that might involve holdbacks of fans inside stadiums.
Good point. Specific procedures for specific fixtures.
Well, everything has got to be treated as an individual set of circumstances, isn't it? These are big events.
Yeah.
Event planning has to go into it. Consideration, the police resource deployed to it, the police's responsibility, and ultimately the prevention rather than the reaction.
What we need, Simon, is a sea change in attitude. Then we might get somewhere, especially this time of year. Can you believe what we saw last night? I mean, get a grip, honestly.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.